Okay, Wolfpack, quick little update today. The move has started on Bitcoin. We still haven't reached our critical breaker. I'm going to be analyzing that for you today. I'm going to be telling you what that critical breaker is. A lot of you guys who watched the video yesterday will be well aware of this already. Let's jump straight into it without further ado. Now, as a lot of you guys would already know, the critical breakers on Bitcoin are currently 32.6K and 28.5K, or 28.6K, sorry. Now, what does this mean? It means that if Bitcoin breaks above 32.6K, it would be breaking out of the local range that has been forming since May 10th. As of right now, we have pumped up significantly, but don't be fooled. We are still within the local range. And obviously, if we break above 32.6, we're breaking out to the upside, meaning we need to go higher than that, meaning we're activating a Deadcat bounce. And if we break below 28.6K, we're going lower than that, meaning we're continuing the dump to the downside. Now, I have covered this extensively in yesterday's video. If we break below 28.6K, I'm expecting a 24K Bitcoin within a matter of weeks. And if we break above 32.6K, I'd be expecting Bitcoin to come up and retest this green line here, which is the 200-day SMA. I'm going to be looking into that scenario quite extensively in this video because it is what looks like, or what seems to be the more likely scenario at this point. Now, before I get into anything, I want to say that again, right? Nothing is confirmed on Bitcoin until we break 32.6K. We need to break 32.6K. If we do not break it, we're just going to do something like this, where we come back down of a range, and most likely we just range for a while, right? But as of right now, if we do break 32.6K, this scenario will be activated. I'm making this video again because I need to alert people of it. The scenario is this, right? And we do have supporting evidence that I haven't looked at before to back up this scenario a bit more later in the video. But the scenario is essentially this. We have a trend on Bitcoin in the bear market. You guys don't know this already. We have the 4-year cycle trend, but I'm not talking about the 4-year cycle trend. I'm talking about an actual structural trend on Bitcoin. Now, looking at 2014, what do? We dropped down in 2014. And by the way, this is not unique analysis. Heaps of people have talked about this before, but it doesn't mean I can't. All right, so 2014, we topped out. We came down to this uptrending line. We formed the uptrending line. We dropped below the uptrending line, right? And then we came up for one last Deadcat bounce, up to the 200-day SMA, rejected off of it sharply, and came down and formed the bear market bottom just a few weeks after that, right? 2018, exactly the same thing. Okay, it's following this 5-step procedure. Formed the bear market top, formed an uptrending line, bounced around for a bit, dropped below the uptrending line, saw one last Deadcat bounce, up to the 200-day SMA, rejected off of it sharply, dropped down, consolidated, and dropped to the bear market bottom. That is two separate occurrences where that occurred, right? Now we have a third in which it's starting to play out already, and we have reason to believe that if we do break above 32.6K, this will be the upside scenario. Let me go into it, right? So, just like in the previous cycles, we topped out on Bitcoin, came down, formed an uptrending line. We have dropped below the uptrending line, and if we do break above 32.6K, we'll be seeing a breakout, and at that point, we would be led to believe we're going to be doing something extremely similar to what we did in the last cycles, and we'd be coming right up to that 200-day SMA, rejecting off of it, right? Consolidating for a bit, and then coming down to the bear market bottom. And that lines up perfectly, right? Or it could do, depending on how long it takes. It lines up perfectly, in my opinion, with the November bottom prediction on Bitcoin, as predicted by the 4-year cycle theory. Now, the 4-year cycle theory is a theory on Bitcoin based on the halving. You guys will be well aware of it by now. I talk about it all the time. But essentially, using date ranges, we could identify the fact that, well, Bitcoin is most likely to bottom out around November. So we're talking October to January, realistically, or October to December, around November, give or take a month, right? And this scenario here, where we have one last Deadcat bounce before going downwards and bottoming out, most likely on a 200-week SMA, could be below that, depends on the recession and everything. I talk about it all the time, but most likely on a 200-week SMA, this Deadcat bounce draws it out. It's only May right now. It's only June, right? It's going to be the 1st of June tomorrow, right? So we've got a few months. We've got 5 months until November. So this Deadcat bounce could draw that out, come down, have some consolidation, and then finally drop down and see the actual bottom in November or around November. This scenario makes perfect sense as per my prediction since November 2021, and it makes perfect sense in terms of the macro scale of the 4-year cycle. Now, another reason why this prediction makes sense, right, if we do break 32.6K, another reason why this scenario will make sense when we bounce up to, say, 38K, depending on where the 200-week SMA is. It's kind of hard to say where it will be, 200-day SMA. Another reason why it makes sense is because the S&P 500 and the traditional markets in general have been absolutely skyrocketing in the last few days, right? Now, we've seen, valuations are, upwards of 3% up in one day. And from the lows here, just about a week ago, we're seeing it's a 9% pump. We haven't seen any of that on Bitcoin yet. Bitcoin's still in the same region. As you guys would know, the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are closely interconnected. And so seeing a massive pump in the S&P 500 of 9%, which is massive for the S&P, and not seeing any kind of reaction on Bitcoin other than this small little jump we've seen in the last day is a little bit abnormal. So I think that pump will be coming most likely. And if we do break 32.6K, it would make perfect sense for Bitcoin to see that dead cat bounce all the way up to 200-day SMA. Now, do I think that this pump, this dead cat bounce, let me go back to the chart. Do I think that this dead cat bounce, actually, hold on, let me just scoot all the way back to it. Do I think that this dead cat bounce we're talking about on Bitcoin will take us to new all-time highs? Not at all. I think the macro environment is very bad. I think the 4-year cycle is very clear in its predictions. It says we're not going to be reaching all-time highs anytime soon. In fact, we haven't even reached the bottom yet. So no, I don't think we're going to all-time highs. I don't think this bounce has the potential to make it or materialize into an actual, rally to new all-time highs. I don't think this is the start of a bull market or, the bottom of the bear market. I think this is merely just another dead cat bounce, just another bounce that's kind of here just to get people really excited. That's ultimately going to fail and trap a lot more people and enable us to move even further down on Bitcoin. Now, what I will say, and I do talk about this quite a bit, what I will say is this. If Bitcoin, by a stroke of luck, I think it will take luck at this point, by a stroke of luck, it is possible though, breaks above the 50-week SMA, that is when I'll be bullish on Bitcoin again. The 50-week SMA is currently at 44K. It is that red line there. Why do I say that? Why do I care about the 50-week SMA? The reason why I care about the 50-week SMA is because the macro trend on Bitcoin is if we break below the 50-week, we end up at the 200. We saw that in 2015. We saw that in 2018. We saw that in 2020. And we're seeing that right now. So if we break that macro trend, if we break above the 50-week SMA, which typically has triggered a bull market in the past, we will be seeing a bull market on Bitcoin. And right now that's at 44K. And so the invalidation point for my entire bear market predictions and the invalidation point for that dead cat bounce, when it will materialize into an actual rally, will be at a break above the 50-week SMA. So when we see this bounce happen, and if we see it happen, because obviously it's not confirmed yet, 32.6K is needed. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But if we do see this bounce happen, and as we start getting to those higher numbers, like 36, 37, maybe even 38, we'll need to keep in mind that, hey, let's stay grounded. Let's stay level-headed here. When we break above the 50-week SMA, that's when we can start to really start getting into the bullish scenarios for Bitcoin. Other than that, it's just a clear dead cat bounce as per the fractal from 2015, 2014, and 2018. I think we can all agree on that. Looking at something briefly like Ethereum and the total cryptocurrency market cap and kind of everything right now is just bouncing on the macro support zone. It's really not a surprise. Bitcoin's doing the same thing. Macro support zone at 28.6K. We tested it in January 2021. We tested it in mid-2021, and we're testing it again. This thing is not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure, right? It's like almost 2-year long, 1.5 year long support zone. Of course, it's not going to go down without a fight. But ultimately, when you do see tests like this, they generally go down. All we need to do is flip off the chart, flip over the chart to kind of see that happening. This is the Ethereum chart flipped over. This chart looks this chart looks insanely bullish in my opinion. Constant retests of this resistance line getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Probably going to see something like that. Flip it over, and we're probably going to see something like that and move downwards, right? So it's quite simple here. It's a rounding top formation on Ethereum. Could be seen as a head and shoulders if you're really, stretching it there. Bitcoin's the same thing. Okay, so Bitcoin, flip it over, massive double bottom formation, very bullish structure on the inverted chart, and hence a very bearish structure on the linear chart. So it's really not rocket science at this point, guys. If we do see this bounce here, it's very well going to be a dead cat bounce. I do want to say, though, I've been ahead of the game in this entire bounce region, this entire drop. As you guys would know, I've been bearish in the market since around 66K. Initially, first stating it's a bear market at around 60 to 63K, somewhere in that region. One of the first people in the market to do that for sure. And during this entire period, we've been down here at like 30K. I've been saying, hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys. Just because we've dropped down a lot doesn't mean that we need to drop down more in the immediate short term. Let's stay level-headed. We could see a dead cat bounce all the way up to 38K. And heaps of people disagree with me on that, and now there's evidence of that actually starting. So We've remained objective the whole time, and that's the good thing about being a trader rather than being an investor in a certain sense. Since I'm a trader, obviously I have a long-term Bitcoin holding, but I don't even think about it. Since I'm a trader, I'm not worried about which direction the market goes. I'm willing to profit in any scenario. If we go downwards, guess what? I'll just flip it over, take some short positions. If we go upwards, flip it over, take some spot positions. It really doesn't bother me which direction the market goes. And so now that I haven't, that means I have no directional bias. And since I have no directional bias, I'm not affected by bias. I'm able to remain objective to the TA. And this is what we can teach you. And this is, I didn't mean to segue into this in like a sales pitch, but this is kind of what it's turned into. This is what we can teach you to do, how to create this, get rid of this bias and be non-biased and use proper TA in the Crypto Academy. I'll bring up the website now. You know the drill. 10-unit course, become a trader, developed by myself, Mega Well Crypto. We made this during the beginning of the year here, just to teach people, the average Joe, whoever you may be, maybe you've got trading experience, who knows, maybe it's your first time in the market, teach you how to trade, everything you need to know about TA, how a financial market works, how the price goes up and down, how to find trades, profitable mindsets, removing bias, everything you can think of. We've got it here. Go to the website and check it out, and you can find our contact details down the bottom there. Go over to the Wolves Crypto YouTube channel, click the join button. You can find a video here that explains the V.I.P, but it's outdated. I need to make a new one. We've got 2-hour video on market psychology and altcoin trading signal every second day, WOC weekly, newsletter access, prioritized reply to comments. The list goes on. We've got a lot of stuff here, good value for money, and we've got about 10 or 11 trading signals active at this point that have been posted into the V.I.P members. I think maybe 4 or 5 of those have triggered, pulling pretty rapid profits. I mean, one of them, AXS, one of the biggest coins in the last 24 hours, moved up 40% in the last 24 hours. We caught that pump. That's up around 40% from our entry zone as well. So we've caught that one. We've got a few good ones in there as well, and they keep coming out, rolling out every second day. So you're not going to miss any trades if you're part of that. Go ahead and check that out, guys. I'm very, excited to see some more of you in there. I've got about 150 members at this point. Come join the Wolf Pack there, or the Alpha Wolf Pack, I should say. BitGet Exchange. This is one of my favorite exchanges. In fact, it's my second exchange that I use. My sub exchange, I use Binance, and I use BitGet. I use BitGet for futures, which is incredibly useful in a bear market when everything's going down. I'm a big believer in invest with the trend. If the trend is downwards, you should be trading 1x short positions. Now, the beauty of 1x short positions is that it's essentially like trading spot, but just reversed over with slightly higher fees. And so, yeah, I have been doing that quite a bit. Obviously, I like spot trading as well, and BitGet's good for spot trading. It's got the lowest fees in the game, even lower than that of Binance. Again, let me say that again. Lower than Binance, which is crazy because Binance fees are very minuscule. So this isn't, going to take you much time, 5 minutes to sign up, and it's free to sign up, obviously, and you get rewards when you do sign up to $4,000 in rewards. So definitely worth signing up there and trading on BitGet. My VIP members, we personally use Binance and BitGet. So if you want to join up to the VIP, you're going to want to join up to BitGet as well. But without further ado, I'll end the video there. Thanks for watching. I'm getting a new mic tonight, so don't worry about that. The sound quality is going to get a little bit better, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Cheers. Thanks.